his encounter with a treacherous Saiyan Turles, our heroes were faced with the ultimate challenge of the Tree of Might, a tree with the fruit containing the power of a god. With all this power, Turles was able to easily wipe through everyone who stood against him, including Raditz. Seeing Raditz breathe his last, Gohan unlocked a power that not even Vegeta could fathom. With this newfound power, Gohan was able to defeat Turles and escape the planet before Frieza's soldiers were ordered to destroy it. On the other side of the universe, our original heroes begin to prepare for their trip to Namek, setting on a collision course for a certain battle once again. What will Gohan do now after Raditz's death? Who is this Frieza Gohan has heard of? All these questions answered now.
A few days have passed since we last saw Vegeta and Gohan. Gohan awakes in his pod and reaches the call to Vegeta via comm unit. Gohan sees that he and Vegeta are the only ones who escaped the planet and begins to panic. Vegeta asks him if he remembers what happened on the planet, and Gohan can only recall certain things. Vegeta then proceeds to tell Gohan that Raditz lost, but in the end they won the fight. Gohan then begins to scream at Vegeta for leaving Raditz's body, asking, "Why would you leave him there?" Vegeta then tells the boy to shut up and says, "And do what with him?" He was a warrior and he went along with the rest of the battlefield after they won. Gohan sits in his pod and begins to hold back tears as they launch further into space towards their next adventure. Back on Earth, we see Goku's recovered from his injury since the battle with Vegeta. In the time since the fight, the group has made plans to travel to a planet named Namek. During the fight, Vegeta and Nappa talked about more Dragon Balls that the Namekians had, so after some help from King Kai, they found the location of the planet. We then see Mr. Popo show Bulma the ship that Kami arrived on Earth in, and Bulma takes notes on the technology used. Bulma then contacts her dad, and they begin to start on making the same ship we see Goku on during his trip to Namek. The only difference being that there is a different room that does not get affected by the gravity training Goku will be enduring. Bulma informs them that it will take 36 days to reach the planet Namek. Goku, excited, tells Krillin that gives them a lot of time to train. Krillin discredits Goku by telling him that he believes Goku is already out of his league when it comes to training. Goku taps Krillin on the back, telling him that that's nonsense, but sends Krillin flying forwards. Goku laughs and tells Krillin that he's still trying to get control of his strength after the fight. Out of nowhere, we hear Chi-Chi screaming for Goku, and Goku says, "Oh no." Turning around, Chi-Chi tells Goku that their baby is still out there, and he better make sure to bring him home. Goku tells Chi-Chi to relax, and that he'll make sure that Gohan comes home. Chi-Chi hugs him and says, "I hope so," as we pan towards the sky. We then see King Kai's planet and see the Z-Fighters who died in the fight with the Saiyans training with each other. Surprisingly, we see Piccolo there as well, meditating as he did in the original story. King Kai tells Piccolo about the people who are heading towards his home planet. Piccolo tells King Kai that he doesn't care and that his only goal is to go back and take over Earth. Yamcha then stops fighting Tien and tells Piccolo that it doesn't matter how strong he gets, because Goku will always be able to defeat him. Piccolo scoffs and tells Yamcha that he'll make sure that when he takes over the Earth, Yamcha will be the first to see all of his friends die, including Goku. Yamcha launches at Piccolo, who then catches him and breaks his arm, throwing him away. He then announces that he's only there to train and then be wished back. So if anybody wants to fight, he'll make sure that they won't be wished back. While being in a defensive stance, Piccolo turns away from the fighters and begins to meditate again. King Kai then says, "Sheesh, he seems serious," and then tells Yamcha to get up because the pain won't last for long. We then see the Frieza Force station that Gohan and Vegeta are suiting up after sitting in their healing pods. Gohan asks Vegeta what they're going to do next, and Vegeta tells him that they're going after the Dragon Balls once again. Gohan looks at Vegeta confused as he heard Krillin tell them that the Earth Dragon Balls had disappeared. Before Gohan can say anything, Vegeta stops him and tells him that they will be heading to Namek and from there they can finish their mission. But overhearing them is Kui, who tells Vegeta that their little mission is already foiled because Frieza is headed towards Namek to receive eternal life. Gohan looks at Kui and then starts to think to himself, there's that name again. Frieza. Who is this guy? Before he can even stop, Vegeta grabs him and they begin to run towards their pods. Gohan asks Vegeta what's going on, but Vegeta tells him to shut up and get in the pod. The two ships blast off towards planet Namek to meet Frieza. We then see that 10 days have gone by, and Goku's using the gravity training feature while Bulma and Krillin watch. Krillin says to Bulma that he doesn't know why Goku is destroying his body, but it seems to be working as he's getting stronger and stronger each time. Krillin then notices that Goku left the senzu beans in the room with them. Krillin yells for Bulma to stop the training before Goku's crushed to death. All of a sudden there's a knock on the door and Goku, crushed on the floor, looks at Krillin, who pulls out the senzu beans, and they begin to laugh. Bulma then comes out of nowhere and says that their projection must have been off because the radar now shows the planet Namek is just ahead. Goku and Krillin can't believe it as they ask how long till they get there. Bulma tells them that they should be there within the hour. Once they arrive, they're greeted by some Namekians who tell them that they've been waiting for them. Bulma finds this weird as nobody knew that they were coming. But she then capsizes the spaceship and puts it in her pocket, and one of the Namekians snarls towards her, even though she can't see it. They tell the group that their leader will be waiting for them shortly. Krillin tells them that they will do that, but they need help finding the Dragon Balls. The Namekians tell them that they can help them find them, but their leader is the one who knows their location. The group follows them as they go to what looks like an old ship that has been fitted to be a shelter. Out of it walks a towering Namekian with a shroud over his head who introduces himself as Lord Slug. They ask him where every other Namekian is. He tells them that they are all that is left and they must protect the planet. He then asks them why they have come here. Bulma tells them that they're here for the Dragon Balls to revive their friends. You can obviously see Slug wince at the name of the Dragon Balls. Slug plays along though, as his informants told him that they have a ship to escape the planet. While walking with Slug, Goku asks Krillin if he senses something off with him. Krillin agrees and tells Goku that he seems like he's suppressing some power. Goku then says, "Yo!" to Slug and asks him how strong he is. Krillin then tries to shush Goku, but Slug turns to face Goku. Slug's face turns into a menacing grimace as he asks Goku if he's heard of the legend of the Super Namekian. Then Slug's minions grab Bulma and Goku turns back towards Slug. Slug then tells how, in history, a Namekian is born with extraordinary power that is used to protect the Namekian people. But that one day, the one who received the power was exiled because he wanted to help his people in a way that they did not appreciate. He then says, "That one was me." He then takes off his shroud to show his battle armor and tells Goku that with their ship, he'll go back to Namek and take back his homeworld. Slug then extends his arm and grabs Krillin. Goku then appears behind the two minions that took Bulma and takes them out with ease. He then tells Bulma to run and then launches towards Slug, who lets go of Krillin and clashes with Goku. Slug looks at Goku and tells him that there's no reason to hold back because the power of a Super Namekian will dwarf his. Goku then stands with Krillin and they both go at Slug, throwing punches with him consistently dodging them. Slug throws them back and tells them just to give him the ship and he will make sure that this fight ends quickly. Then a light begins to pulse from Slug's armor and he begins to grow and sees Bulma still running. Out of nowhere, Goku and Krillin both uppercut Slug, but Slug swats both of them away towards the ground and pins Goku under his boot. Slug then stretches his arm and grabs Bulma from where she was hiding. Goku, watching on, can barely move at all but yells at Slug to stop it! Slug begins to laugh and tells Goku and Krillin that this wouldn't have happened if they just gave him their ship. He then grabs the capsule and drops Bulma from an incredible height. She lands right next to Goku and Krillin, and Goku can tell from that impact she is dead. Goku then builds up enough energy to tip Slug over, and Krillin runs over to Bulma. Goku asks if she's really gone, and Krillin nods his head. Slug begins to get up laughing sadistically, and Goku can feel his power rising as his anger begins to consume him. Slug looks down and an aura similar to that of Gohan's during his fight with Turles begins to appear. But then Goku yells, and launches at Slug, breaking that glowing light on his armor, causing him to shrink down. Goku then unloads on Slug, only for Slug to grab Goku's fist and tell him that he'll kill Krillin too. Goku's had enough and his pupils disappear from his eyes as he lets out a yell louder than ever before. Krillin can't believe it, but Goku then kicks Slug and we see memories of Bulma and him on adventures. Slug fires Blast, but Goku knocks him away each time and then teleports right in front of Slug. With a fury of punches, Goku beats Slug down to the point of incapacitation. He tells him that he'll never leave this planet because he will suffer for what he did to Bulma. Slug laughs, even though he's unable to move, and tells Goku that if he doesn't kill him, he'll find another way to track them down and kill them eventually. Goku powers down but doesn't know what that power was. He walks over to Krillin and tells him to get the ship. As soon as they deploy the ship capsule, Slug launches a blast with his last remaining energy to destroy it. However, Goku teleports in front of the blast, swatting it back towards Slug, who is then taken out. Krillin and Goku load Bulma into a freezing casket to keep her in until they can find the Dragon Balls on the actual planet Namek. We then see the ship return on its main course once more, and all of our heroes begin their trips to Namek once more.
Now, start begging for your life. Not that I'll listen.